Hello and welcome to the mid-year freakout tag in the end of July. The editing's gonna be weird because I'm gonna be doing this in like groups because it's just gonna be easier that way, especially with me standing here. I can't like really have a pile of books next to me as easily. Two, it's been like 90% humidity for like a week now, so my hair is a mess. We are not talking about it, okay? We are just ignoring this as a fact in life. So this is a weird cloudiness that is happening in this like corridor. I don't know what is happening. Is there like a ghost over there? I don't know. And then 3, I was tagged by Brady reads. Her video and her channel will be linked below. So like, that's it. That's like the whole entire thing. But yes, Bree tagged me. I knew she was gonna tag me. She did tell me beforehand. And so she like, when I am filming this, she uploaded it yesterday. So like I was watching and taking notes and I knew what I was gonna say. I have it all written down on my iPad. So we're gonna have a good time. The way I forgot to bring my iPad with me. Anyways, yeah, no, there's 15 questions. A good chunk are physical books. I tried to use my physical books for as much of it as possible, and so forth. And yeah, I'm just gonna do this and have a good time. Okay, the first question is best book I read in 2022, and this is where I just plug in my Instagram, which is linked below. But basically, I do this thing where on my story every month, at the end of every month, I have like this whole graphic that I downloaded from someone else that has all my favorite books of each month. And so like they battle each other to see who wins for each month. And so far, I think I read this in January, if not in February, and it's still winning. Like she out here living her best life. Really not, but like she's out here defeating everyone, and she's an icon, and she is a Legendborn. Honestly, be prepared to hear about Legendborn a lot because I'm addicted. Like, I forgot how thick this boy is. I annotated her. Like I did fun times. Like I don't know when I exactly decided to just go into highlighting mode, but then I did, and then I went back and was highlighting more, and then it was a good time. I think there's a page that I just almost highlighted like every single thing. Also at the end of each part, I like put down sticky notes with my thoughts on the previous part, because I was also vlogging it, and then that vlog didn't turn out as planned. Vlog, we all know that was a mess. But this was great, and starting of me wanting to look for more Arthurian retellings because this was oof. I think I originally said 4.5 stars, and officially I think it says on Goodreads 5 stars. And I do plan to reread this before the second one comes out, and so like I'll most likely officially up it to 5 stars, but like this was by far my favorite book of the year so far. I don't know why I threw it over there because I'm gonna have to talk about it again in like 5 minutes. But the second question is best sequel I read of the year, which is I have 2 of them. I have some of these questions I tried to only do one. Some of them I couldn't choose just one. So it's been a fun time. The first one was Death from the Four Horsemen series. If you like, I just reread the first 2 in the series, and I already want to reread the other 2, including this one, which I read in January. This came out last December, and I bought it for myself for my Christmas present, and yeah, this was a good time. At the ending of a series that I've been reading back before COVID, like back when I was still on campus in person. Like this is how long I've been reading this series, and ooh, I love this bad boy. So there's that one. And then the second one is A Week to Be Wicked by Tessa Dare from the Spindle Cove series. I think it's the second full-length novel in the Spindle Cove series, and so far it is my favorite of the series still. It is top tier content. I I just love it so much. I don't know what to say other than that book was so good. I love flirting with math terms. Truly iconic, okay? Okay, the next one is all ebooks, so yay me. And I have to read off of here because I want to know the authors' names. But it is new releases I haven't read yet, but want to. Burn Down, Rise Up by Vincent Terrato. I don't remember if that one was also vampires, but that one is also gay. Book Lovers by Emily Henry. If you know anything about me, then I loved beach read like too much. I haven't read People We Meet on Vacation. Is that even what this other one's? I don't remember. But I do plan to read that one soon. And Book Lovers seems like my perfect book, and I just, ooh. And then Gallant by V.E. Schwab, though I have officially planned for that in August, so. And then most anticipated book. I gotta get it again. We gotta get it. Of course, my most anticipated book, the second part of 2022, is Bloodmarked, the sequel to Legendborn, which is the only book I pre-ordered. I rarely I never pre-order books. Like, it never happens. But I did Bloodmarked because I knew I wanted a hardcover and all this stuff. So as soon as it got available, I was like, mine. And I'm very happy with that decision. There were like 2 books that I wanted to read as soon as they came out, and that was one of them. And the other one has already come out, and I just bought it as soon as it came out. But this one I knew was going to be more popular, so I pre-ordered Bloodmarked, and I'm very happy, and that is my most anticipated release. Okay, my sister's downstairs doing dishes. We're gonna ignore that sound. I had to get more books. Biggest disappointment. I wrote down a joke of basically every mystery thriller I've read this year, which is actually kind of true and sad because I'm in the mood for one right now, and that's the life we're living. I did write down 5, but I got an extra one because I physically own 2 of the mystery thrillers that I'm talking about, which is Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I think this one I either did a 2.5 or a 1.5. I don't remember. It's pretty short. But the plot twist, I was just like, what? And then People Like Her by Ellery Lloyd. I just found out that they're coming out with another book. And so that's going to be interesting. I read this very early on. This one's also very thin. Basically, nothing was important. And also, it wasn't good. Like, I didn't care. I've had a lot of middle book syndrome this year. I don't know what's going on with that. So along with that is Storm from the East by Joanna Hathaway, which is book 2 in the Glass Alliance series. I don't have the first one on me because I let my grandfather borrow it. But that was like one of my favorite books last year. And then I bought Storm from the East almost instantly, and like nothing happened. It was all the same exact stuff from the first one, basically. Like, where did the characters grow? I can't see it. Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I'm sorry. I know people love it, especially Dion. I know. I did not. It was not my cup of tea. Which is sad because I like really enjoyed the first like 2/3 of it. There's The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. I had previously read one of his books, Home Before Dark, and I think I did that one 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. Did not like The Last Time I Lied. The only positive about that book is that I read it so fast. But I think that's because I didn't care. And it's not good, fam. I did do a vlog. It was in a vlog. It was in the blue monochromatic one. I guess I'm going to be putting all these vlogs also below. That's going to be fun. So like if you want to watch me complain about that book, you can do that. And then this is very timely for me. Where the Crawdads Sing. I had to re-get my audiobook from the library like 3 times. It was not a good time. I think at the end I was listening to it at 2.5 speed while playing Stardew Valley, trying to get through it. Like, I was trying so hard. I did not like it at all. I thought this book made it so I didn't like, I was pretty sure because of this book that I didn't like courtroom scenes in books. But then I've read Little Fires Everywhere, which also was pretty, like, kind of a disappointment. But I still liked it enough to give it 3 stars. I'm pretty sure I gave Where the Crawdads Sing like 1.5 stars. Little Fires Everywhere's has like one courtroom scene. I think there's only one, but like it was it, fam. It was good. That was like my favorite scene in the book. So like, not I lied. Where the Crawdads Sing is just a bad book. Also, we're ignoring sounds below. It's fine. Next up is Biggest Surprise. And when I was getting the physical book for this, I thought of another one. So now there's 4. We're gonna start with the ebooks, which is XOXO by Axio. That was also in the alphabet reading vlog. And when I was reading that one, I think her newest book had just come out. And people were talking about that one. And I didn't expect to actually like XOXO. Like, I was just like, it's probably just gonna be a cute little thing. No, that book was good. And I really like her writing, so there's that. And then there was Throne of Glass. I've had hit or miss with Miss Sarah J. Maas before. I like the first Crescent City book. I haven't read the sequel yet. And then I've read all of ACOTAR, except for Course of Flames. And previously, like, when I first read the first book in ACOTAR, I rated it like 1 star. I think I originally rated it 2 and then bumped it down to 1. I reread it earlier this year and I think I gave it a 4. So like, but I hesitantly read Throne of Glass because it was available at my library in January. And that book was good. And then right when I did that, all of them went on sale. Like the box set of all of them as an ebook went on sale for like $7 for all of them. So then I instantly bought all of them. And I do have to reread it when I continue the series, hopefully this year. But you know, that was surprising. And then a book that was also in the alphabet vlog is A Rogue of One's Own by Evie Dunmore. I did reread Bringing Down the Duke, the first book in the series, and like, it was okay. It wasn't as good as it was when I first read it, but I think that's because my tastes in historical romance have grown a lot, and that's why. And then I read this one, and this was just good. I wasn't expecting to like it as much because it's so thick, and also like the whole entire thing, like why they get together, I was like hesitant. But like 1, we love a bad king, and 2, the romance is good. It good. There's a part where she just comes in and, at the end, and it's good. I was not expecting it. And then the one that I'm just adding in, which was also for the blue monochromatic reading vlog, is Things in Jars by Just Kid. I tried to read this when it first came out, like right after it first came out, and I tried to read the prologue, the first chapter, or whatever it was, and I did not like it. I love this question mark. I don't know what happened between now and then when I first tried to read it, but this was good soup. I liked it. Apparently I just say things are good soup now. It was good content, okay? I still love my ghosty boy. He will come up later for a future question. I love him, and you know, I do not recommend it because it's very weird, but apparently I like weird books now. Okay, new favorite author, the official one. Listen, like, did you expect anything different? I realize this is her debut, but still, like, she gets me so well. It's so good, okay? I just love it. I love it so much. And then also, for my unofficial one, I said Tessa Dare, question mark, document that I wrote, because, technically I started Spindle Cove last year, but it was December of last year, so that I could read the first novella, for Christmas, because it's Christmas novellas. So I read the first full-length novel and the first novella last year, but that's it. And it was pretty late in December, so, like, otherwise, I read most of the rest of Spindle Cove this year. I just have the last novella and full-length novel left, so like, can she count? Technically, maybe. It's up to you if she counts. Okay, so like, we're back to talk about it. I did say that this was gonna be in this a lot, right? Whoops. The next one was Newest Fictional Crush. My brain instantly went Eddie Munson. But this is about books, not about TV shows. We don't need to talk about that. Technically, if we take all the words I've read of Eddie Munson fanfiction and put it into a printed document. I'm pretty sure it's long enough to be Legendborn. Like, I've read too much of that. It's fine. We don't need to talk about it. And there wasn't really one. The only one I could really think of was Cell from Legendborn. You know, the Both guy, bi guy, you know, we love our goth bi king. There we go. AKA me in middle school. Listen, he annoyed me for like the first 100 pages, but afterwards, I love him. I don't know if I love him because he's just my sweet baby, or if I love him because I'm in love with him. I don't know. I'll tell you when I reread it, but like that's the only one I could think of. He's great. I was like trying to think of ones from romance books and stuff, but like most of the time, like I ship them with the other characters, so like does Cell even count? I don't know. I mean, he technically is my phone background, but that's just because I support him in everything he does, as well as Brady. I just took off one of the tabs. There was an extra tab I just put on the cover of this book. You don't need to worry about it. Try to save tabs. Okay, next one is new favorite characters. I don't know why I put down Legendborn, because obviously Cell and Brady. I love them. That's all I'm going to say. They are my children, okay? Thank you. Good night. Gotta throw that one again. And then, oh, look at this. A book you haven't seen before. I haven't finished the Mistborn Era 2 trilogy yet. Clearly. Whoops. But Wax and Wayne. I like Wax fine. Like, he's a good character, and I like him. But what really makes him is Wayne. Wayne's character just makes Wax's character so much better. All of these are going to be duos, because apparently I like characters when they're in duos. But yes, Wax and Wayne as a duo, I love them. That's that. The way that I didn't remember the ghost's name, so I had to look up his name, but Brady and Ruby in Things in Jars. Don't ask me why I just wanted the ghost romance so bad. I almost cried, actually, at the end, and it was purely because I just wanted the ghost romance, okay? Listen, we could talk about weird siren mermaid stuff and kidnapping children all day long, but, like, who cares about any of that when you could have a ghost romance? And it almost did it. And then the fourth one, I also had to look at the names because it's been a long time. This is why I have to reread that before I continue the series. But it is Selena and Cole from the class. Asterix, I've only read the first one. Like, he'd probably be a jerk in the second one. I know, I've read Sarah J. Maas before. But, like, in the first one, I love them. Thank you. Next up is books that made me cry. I do have a shelf on Goodreads that is, like, all the books that have made me cry. I think there was, like, 15 on there now. And I didn't like put every single one from this year, sadly, because I didn't remember them all from the top of my head, except for one, which is the most obvious one, and that is The Ghost We Keep by Mason Deaver. Listen, I knew. I went to bed at like 7 p.m. I sat in my comfy chair. I turned on my overhead light. I had my tea. I was sitting there reading the last like 70 pages. I knew I like saved those 70 pages until I was alone so that I could cry my eyes out, and then I did, and it was some good soup. Very surprised by my brain got that so fast, but you know, we're not gonna complain because that was good. Okay, next up is books that made me happy on the other spectrum. The first two that come into mind I read last month, of course. And that is A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall. I think that's his name. I don't remember. But that was good. Minus the weird thing with the kidnapping of the sister at the end. That book, I was quite literally kicking my feet in the air, scream, cry. Like, not really crying, but scream laughing, because I was, like, laughing because it's so funny and outlandish, but also, like, screaming because, oh my god, they're gonna kiss for the first time. But then, you know, he recognizes those freckles. I'm never gonna let that down. And then the other one is the other book that I was most excited for this year, but like it's already come out, and that is So This Is Ever After by F.T. Lukens. Technically this book also made me cry, but it was like happy tears. Like I was like so happy that they got together. Technically this one is also Arthurian retelling, I'm pretty sure. It's a mix of Arthurian and D&D retelling. And I'm fine with that. Like, this was so good. And this was in my private reading box, so that also can be linked below. Fun. But yeah, this is good content. Good content. Next up is favorite adaptations. Sadly, I've not watched Heartstopper yet. That's in September. Don't worry, it's gonna happen. Listen, is my first instinct to write Pride and Prejudice, the 2005 edition, which I have rewatched this year, so yes, that's going on the list. And Lord of the Rings, yes, but I haven't rewatched Lord of the Rings yet this year. I usually do it. Like, I spend a weekend rewatching it every year, at least once a year. I haven't done it yet this year. I have read the books once when I was a child. I should probably reread them at some point, but like, who got time for that? But yes, those two are like my first instinct. Lord of the Rings technically isn't on the list because technically I haven't watched it this year. What I have watched this year is Jurassic Park, and I did read the book last year, and I really enjoyed the book. Was it exact adaptation? Like, they changed a lot of things, but I'm fine with that. I see why, and it was good content. I just wish they had added more raptors, okay? And then Twilight. I technically have only read the first Twilight book in Midnight Sun, but I did like have a watch movie thing with H and Dion, and we watched all the Twilight movies in like one night, which was an experience. But yeah, that, listen, Breakdown Part 2, still the best. I jokingly love that movie because it's just so bad. I love it. It's iconic. Thank you. 13th question is my favorite post, which I said none lol when I wrote it down, but then I was like, I don't know, maybe that review I wrote for A Lady for a Duke. If you don't know, I like, for books that aren't for vlogs, I try to write like a paragraph or two, like short paragraphs, to post on my Instagram, but also on my Goodreads and Storygraph. And then I spent like a good long time, like I didn't update that post or upload that post until this month. Like, I read it beginning of June. It took me a month to figure out what to say about it because I had so many thoughts and opinions. I think I originally rated it 5 stars. There was this whole thing. But basically, I wrote like a lot of words. I wrote a lot of words. I think it was like 5, 6 full-length paragraphs. It was a lot, which I was not expecting. But yeah, like, I guess that, because I actually wrote substance, technically. Okay, next up is, most beautiful book spot, this year. Technically, this was a birthday gift from my mom, but I'm counting it, because I already owned a copy. I owned, well, I still own it because it's still on my shelves, but it's on my unhaul shelf. I owned the cover that was like the movie tie-in edition, all the stuff. I think it also came in the poster. I think I instantly threw that away. Because the movie bad, I did, like, you can tell that I'm reading it for vlog. It's fine. But I started to read it last night, reread it. This has like an extra 200 pages almost of content with the short stories that comes with it. But I started to read it last night, and then the trailer for the Peacock TV show adaptation came up, and I was like, I have high hopes. I have hesitant high hopes. But yes, this one. I wanted this cover because the way that I have them set up on my shelves is that the first one was on display, but like I don't like the movie, so then I would put the second one on display, and it just felt weird, all that fun stuff. And this one is just so beautiful. I love it. So simplistic, but perfect, and exactly what I wanted to be on display. Did it come in damaged? Yes, screw you, Amazon. But, you know, we take what we can get. And, yeah, even though my mom technically bought it for me for my birthday, we're counting it. 2 books I did buy myself very recently are Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. Yes, I have mass markets, don't worry about it. I just always really like this cover, like, with her hair coming out all white, and then she's like talking in rainbows. Like, what is happening? I don't know. And then this is my favorite edition of Elantris, and I didn't know that was gonna be the cover I got, but it like looks like very classic fantasy. You can't see them properly probably, so like I'll probably put if it's real difficult because they're so small, I'll put them up as ebook covers. But yeah, bought these somewhat recently and really like those covers. And then she's made a return. Look, okay, look, she's gorgeous. I love her. It's got all the other characters on the back. I love them. And then if you take off the dust jacket, it's just the perfect purple with silver lettering, and I really love her, and we don't need to talk about it. Okay, question 15. It's gonna be the fun one. I'm gonna have to go back and forth because there's a lot. But books that I need to read by the end of the year, which is a lot. If you know me, I think currently, as of this moment, I have 1,230 books on my Goodreads TBR. And sometimes I just start reading random books for no reason. Like, do we see this? I've read 3 out of the 13 that I'm supposed to read this month. But don't worry, I've read 4 extra ones for no reason. It's fine. Technically one of them was a Sanderson novella, so it makes sense. But there's a lot. There is a lot. Starting with the whole entire Vampire Academy series. Minus the first one because I'm currently reading it. It is a thing that I plan to do to finally officially finish the series this year. I have read up to the 3rd one. God, these get so thick. What the hell? I've read through the 3rd one. To think that I thought that was large, and then look, what the hell? Yeah, I want to finally finish the series. I've owned it since I was in high school. Right around the time the movie came out, hence the movie poster for that book cover. But yeah, I bought the whole box set, and I've only read through the 3rd book. And so it's a goal this year to finish them. Even gonna vlog the experience and weekend reading vlogs, because that's how I'm gonna force myself to do it. Not really force myself, but get myself to do it. Keep myself accountable. But yeah, I gotta read all these bad boys. Why is this one so thick? Whoo, letter. And then there's of course the Brady Simpson Readathon. If you don't know about that, that's a thing. Which is great because I've wanted to read Brady Simpson for a while. I had The Way of Kings already on my shelves. And then this came up, and then I started to buy them all in mass market. These are the ones that I own physically. I own all the way up to Atlantis, and then The Way of Kings as well. These are all the ones that I have not read yet. Technically, we're supposed to read all the way through. Well, we're supposed to read Miss Warner 2 last month. I only read the first one. And then, so I'm supposed to have these ones done by the end of this month. But it's a goal to basically read the Cosmere universe. And I'm gonna do it one way or another. With the power of audiobooks, I'm pretty sure I can do it. So yeah, that's a goal. I got these bad boys. Why is she so thick? On top of that, there's the rest of Spindle Cove. I do think I've officially planned it for next month to finally finish that series. But yeah, that's the thing that I need to do because Tessa Dare. So there's that. And then there's also, I want to reread Throne of Glass and read the whole entire series at some point this year. That's another thing I want to do in weekend reading vlogs. Apparently I'm going crazy because that's like a lot of pages. I'm pretty sure the last one's pretty thick too. At least I own them all already. There's the Eos Key by DM Lurie. I think, is that how you pronounce her last name? I did just buy it like 2 days ago. I just bought the ebook for it, and I'm very excited. I wasn't planning on reading it yet this year or anything like that, but then I saw Brandy's review of it, and I was like, I need to read it. So then I bought it, and now I'm gonna read it in August, as well as 2 other ones I'm just gonna throw in here just because I want H to love me again, because I made a joke about not reading it ever. So The Wicker King, which technically is right up in this corner, but I don't think I'm gonna get to it this month. And Gallant by V. Schwab, which are things that people want me to read. But like, that's the bare minimum. I got a lot of shiz I gotta read. Like, have you seen my Goodreads? I got a lot of books there that I want to read. Like, at some point, I want to read War and Peace. Will that ever happen? I don't know. Also, like, I want to read a Jane Austen this year. I always try to read at least one Jane Austen every year. Haven't done that yet. really want to read Pride and Prejudice, that's also up there. And then, you know, just like try to read 12 nonfiction books in total this year. Like, that's all the things. Like, I have so many books I want to read this year, and not enough time, especially if I continue to read all that Eddie Munson fan fiction. It's fine. We don't need to question my sanity. I'm doing okay. But that is it. That was the last question. I did it. Here I am. This is definitely not going to be a 20-minute video. I think technically now I'm supposed to tag people. But first I'm going to thank Bree for tagging me in this. That was so nice and unexpected. So thank you. I guess I could technically tag Dion, even though she tagged Dion. But in reality, since it's almost August, I think it's by the time this gets uploaded, there's like less than a week until August. So I am not going to tag anyone specifically except for H. My child, I am tagging you. Do this video. I'm trying to get you to make content because I just want to watch content. Thank you. Otherwise, I'm not going to officially tag anyone else. If you want to do this tag, go ahead. Have fun. It's a fun experience. I wanted to do it, but like no one tagged me, and then Bree out here just being like, I'm tagging you. But yeah, this has been fun and an experience of me tearing apart my bookshelves that I now have to go fix. And it is so hot and humid that I have to turn my fan back on. So I'm gonna end it off. I'll mention vlogs as well as Brandy's review of the EOS and Bree's mid-year freakout tag, and then their channels are all linked below as per normal. As well as my Goodreads, my Instagram, my Storygraph. Like, go check that stuff out if you want. Sometimes I actually write the reviews I'm supposed to write, and all that fun stuff. But that's fun. If you want to know what I review books and vlogs before the vlog comes out, I do post them on my Instagram stories. So, like, go check me out. All that stuff's also linked below, but who cares about me? Go follow all the other people instead. And I'll see you in the next video, in which hopefully I'll have actually read books.